To another How to Code Well video tutorial. My name's Peter Fisher, and today we're going to take a basic look at PHP arrays. Now, before I begin, I'll just explain what an array is in terms of PHP. And you can think of it like a collection of data. It's actually an ordered map of key value pairs. So, for example, each element in that array will have its own key. So you'll understand more once I create the array, which I'm just about to do. So we're going to define a variable, and we're going to call that ARR. We're going to equal that to the word array. Now we need to have parentheses like so, and we're just going to press enter. Now if I was to do a raw print, a print R of the ARR, we will see that it's an empty array like so. So the array will contain values and their associated keys. So in order to fill this up, we would do ARR is equal to the array again, and we would create a key, and we're just going to do key 1, and we're going to equal that, or assign that, sorry, to value 1, and then to add another element to this array, we would do key 2, and we would assign that to the value 2, and then we would close the parentheses and then run that. And then if we did a raw print of the ARR variable, we will see the contents of the array, and that's populated like so. So on the left here you've got the keys in these square brackets, and on the right you have their associated values. Now there is another way to generate an array, and that's to use the shorthand method, which is to only use the square brackets. So I'm going to clear the screen and I'm going to do that again. So ARR equals the square brackets, and if we were to just run that and do a raw print of ARR, we would just get the blank array as we did before. So in order to fill this array up using the square brackets, we would do ARR is equal to square brackets, and we would put in the key and assign that to the values as we did before, so value 1. And then I'll just put in the next one for clarity. So key 2 is equal to value 2, like so. And then if we did a raw print of ARR, we will get the values as we did before. Now we can actually add elements to an array without specifying their keys, and in doing so we automatically generate a numeric key for each value. So to do that we would do ARR again, we would equal that to the brackets, and we would just put in the keys, so value 1 and value 2, like so. So notice I haven't used these symbols to associate the keys to their values. So if we were to just enter that and do a print of ARR again, we can see that we've got the values in as before, but we have these new keys in. Now these new keys have been generated by PHP, and they always will start from 0, because that's how the computer counts. It will always count from 0. So the first value, or value 1, will always have the key of 0, and value 2 will then have 1. Okay, so that's how we generate an array, but how about adding elements to an existing array? Notice every time I've done this example, I've had to assign ARR to another array. So let's just clear the screen down and go ARR is equal to, and I'm going to put in the key of 2 is value, and I'm going to assign that to value 3. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying add the key 2 to ARR, to the variable ARR, which is the array, and assign that to with the value of value 3. So if I was to do print ARR again, we can see that we've actually added this new element to an existing array. Now we can also retrieve an element from the array using its key. And in order to do that, we would do echo ARR, and we would choose the key that we want to retrieve. So in this case, let's say we want to retrieve the element with the key of 1. So we would put the 1 in the bracket, and then we would echo that. So we would get value 2. Now we can also remove elements from the array as well based on the key, and this is the example. So we would do unset. Now unset will remove the value ARR, and we would do the key. So let's remove that value, so key of 1. So that's unset. So if we did print R, we could see that we've actually removed that value, that key. Now notice that the keys haven't reordered. It's 0 and then 2. Okay, so that's quite crucial. So you can reindex the arrays, and to do that you would use a function called array_values, and that would reindex the arrays. But by default it doesn't do that. Okay, so that's a basic intro into PHP arrays. Thank you for watching. Please click the like button if you found it useful, and make sure to subscribe to get the next tutorial. If you have any comments, questions or queries, then please leave them in the comments section below. Alternatively, you can tweet them to my Twitter handle, which is PFWD. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Welcome to another How to Code Well video tutorial. My name's Peter Fisher, and today we're going to continue looking at PHP arrays, and we're going to focus on the array_values method and how we can use that to reindex a PHP array. So let's go ahead and create an array now. So variable A, we're going to equal that to be a bunch of fruits. So apples, pears, we're also going to have grapes, and we're going to have oranges too. And that is a string, so it needs to be in quotes, like that. Okay, so let's do a raw print of variable A, and we can see that we have the array here. Now the first element has the key of 0, and the last element, oranges, has the key of 3. So if you haven't seen my previous video where I go into a little bit more depth of what is an array and how to create one, then I would recommend you check that out first. So okay, we're going to remove one of these elements now. So we're going to remove, let's say, the grapes. So to do that we would do unset the value of grapes with a key of 2. So we're going to remove that, and then if we did a print R again, we can see that grapes have now been removed. Now notice that the keys haven't changed, so the keys are still the same as they were before. So 0 is apples, 1 is pears, and 3 is oranges, and we've removed the second one. So what do we need to do in order to reindex this array? So by reindexing, I mean changing the order back so it's incrementing. So this would be 0, this would be 1, and this would be 2 instead of 3. How do we do that? So there is a method in PHP called array_values. Now what that does is it returns the array values in a reindexed form. So just an example, let's do a print R, and we're going to pass in array_values, and in array_values, in that method we're going to pass in variable A as its parameter. Now notice that oranges is set to 3 here, so I'm just going to run that on another screen, and we can see that we've got the array back, but this time it's reindexed. So oranges, as it was before, was set to 3, is now set to 2. So please note that running array values like this doesn't actually change the return of A. It doesn't actually change its variable, its value. And I can demonstrate that by just going back to printing R of variable A. Okay, so variable A is still set to its original state, where oranges is set to 3. So in order to change variable a, we need to assign variable a to the return of array underscore values, like so. Okay, so let's just print R just to prove that that has changed. Okay, so yes, we have now changed variable a back to the return of array underscore values. So it's worth noting that running array underscore values like this will also change the any keys that have strings. So by that I mean, for example, we could have, let's just clear that screen down, we could have variable a with a key of test, for example, so that will be a string, and we're going to equal that to be grapes, like so. Now let's just do a print R to see what we've got. Variable a, there we go. So we have these elements here, so apples, pears, oranges, and grapes again. But in this case, we have 0, 1, 2, and then test. Now, if I was to go back a couple of bits, so we get the raw representation of the reindexed array value of a, we will notice that test gets changed to become a numerical key. Now, that numerical key will be based on its position. So let's run that, and we can see that it's set to 3 because it's the third one in line. So again, we would need to run a is equal to array values in order to assign a to this new return. So if I just did a print R of a, we can see that it's back to a numerical key. Okay, so that's running array underscore values. Thank you for watching. Please click the like button if you found it useful, and make sure to subscribe to get the next tutorial. If you have any comments, questions, or queries, then please leave them in the comments section below. Alternatively, you can tweet them to my Twitter handle, which is PFWD. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.